This is Killer Tune. I've been more excited for this than the others entirely because their aesthetic really appeals to me. I kind of like the music influence, plus like the sort of, God, I don't even know if you would call it. It's not quite cyberpunk. Maybe it's a little cyberpunky. I'm not sure. I think it's a little like grungy. I don't know. Either way, I really like their aesthetic. I'm hoping these cards are good. I haven't read any of them yet, and I've just been very excited to see what they do. So I'm really hoping they're playable. I already got the surprise of Enneacraft being strangely good, honestly. I think it's a lot better than people are giving it credit for, and might be sleeping on it a little bit. But it's not about them. It's about the other archetype in their cohort. So Killer Tunes. First up, so this is Killer Tune Mix, level 2 Wind Warrior Tuner effect monster. If this card on the field would be used as synchro material, one tuner in your hand can be used as one of the other materials. Okay, so it's got like a Tatsunoko effect. One tuner in your hand can be used as one of the other materials. That doesn't have to be itself. Also, she is a tuner. So I guess we're double tuning, which I guess makes sense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, add one Killer Tune monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand except a level 2 monster. Okay, so a little bit of a restriction there, but we do have a searcher. It's always good for an archetype to have an archetype searcher. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. All right. Hopefully they have a way to quick synchro, so you can do that on your opponent's turn as an interrupt. But this also wouldn't be terrible as a way to like try and break a board, right? Because like when she's in grave, the things that can negate her, there's a lot fewer. Like there are definitely things that can negate what's happening in the graveyard, but like something like an imperm or a Veiler wouldn't work. Killer Tune Clip. I'm really digging this hoodie, honestly. That is cool. This is a level 2 Dark Thunder tuner. Okay, so a pretty big difference in type and attribute from the first one. If this card on the field would be used as synchro material, one tuner in your hand could be used as one of the other materials. Okay, so it also has the Tatsunoko effect. During your opponent's turn quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand that immediately after it resolves, you can synchro summon one tuner. So they do have a quick synchro effect in Archetype here, at minimum, but it only lets you synchro summon a tuner. I'm guessing there are probably archetypal synchros we'll get to later that are probably also synchro tuners. And there are cards this can make that aren't even that bad. There are synchro tuners that are pretty decent just as they are. If it's sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can banish one random face down card from your opponent's extra deck. Okay. Banishing a random card is not like amazing. It's not stellar, but as just a random add-on to a card, that's not bad. Just getting that as a freebie is not terrible. Killer Tune Rico. Rico? Is that you? This is a Fire Fiend tuner. So the only thing they have in common so far is being tuners. Outside of that, they've all had different types and attributes. So that's interesting. Also has Tatsunoko effect. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Killer Tune monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand except a level 3 monster. Okay. So this can also search another monster just like the first one could. And I'm guessing the idea here is you can use this to search a 2, or the 2 can search her, or a 3. Funny that it says that it can only add something except level 3. It doesn't name herself, but she's also the only level 3, it looks like. So she can add one of the 2s. I guess this thing you're trying to consider is whether or not you want to, like, pop a card or do a random banish. Adding Clip does give you the option to synchro on your opponent's turn, which is nice, but Mix also pops a card, so I guess it's just down to what exactly your goals are. Oh, and she does pop a spell trap. So if you can find a way to like tune all 3 of these somehow, you would banish a random card from their extra deck, pop a monster, pop a spell trap. That's pretty good, all for just a synchro summon you did on their turn, but that would require a level 7 who needs 3 tuners, so that doesn't seem likely. First synchro, Killer Tune Trackmaker is a machine synchro tuner. Okay, so we do have something for these two to make together as a double tune. Okay, good. It specifically requires a Killer Tune tuner, so it's non-generic, plus 1 tuners. So this is a synchro that must be made with all tuners. That's interesting by itself. That's very uncommon. If this card on the field would be used as synchro material, 1 tuner in your hand can also, so it also Tatsunokos. If this card is special summon, you can add a Killer Tune card from your deck to your hand, so that adds any card, regardless of level. If this card is sent to graveyard as synchro material, you can turn one card your opponent controls to their hand. All right. I mean, it's a shame that this is the 4 because something you might try to do otherwise would be make this using Rekko and Mix, so that on your opponent's turn you can synchro it away with Clip. It does seem like if you could make this deck go second, it'd be pretty good, because so far I'm only seeing one way they could quick synchro, so... And this isn't a quick effect, so that's what I'm more thinking. If you can make this deck go second, it seems like they have pretty good built-in board breakers that require responses. So that's good. Here's a 5. Killer Tune Remix. This requires exactly Killer Tune Mix plus one of your other tuners. Okay. It makes sense. It's just her, but bigger. I guess the goal is to make her using her and her. Can only use the second effect of this card named once per turn. Gets 1500 attack while your opponent has a tuner on their field or in their graveyard. Okay, so she's slightly bigger in another synchro matchup, or if they just have like one of the ghost girls engraved, because most of those are tuners. So like if they Veilered you, this gets a boost. If they've Ash Blossomed you, this gets a boost. That's decent. That's not as like weird as like, oh, they have Polymerization engraved. That would be almost non-existent, but this could actually come up just because most hand traps are tuners for some reason. During your opponent's turn, quick effect. Okay, so this one has a quick effect. You can tribute this card, take 2 non-synchro tuners from your graveyard, add one of them to your hand, and if you do, special summon the other den immediately after this effect resolves. You can synchro summon 1 tuner. Okay, am I following how this works? So she has to be made with Mix. So our turn. We make her, we summon Mix. Mix searches Rekko. Rekko summons herself. No, she doesn't summon herself. She stays in hand, but we can use Mix's effect to synchro summon using Rekko in hand to summon this. When we do, if our opponent has anything on field, we can pop a spell trap and then pop a monster. Then she sits there. Then on our opponent's turn, we can tribute her. Then we can synchro again. So we have to take 2 from our graveyard. So the only targets we would have in this scenario would be Rekko and Mix. So they're in our hands now, and we can immediately synchro summon, which means as an additional interrupt on our opponent's turn, we can pop a spell trap and pop a monster. Editor Astra here. I just read this again, and I realized you don't have to synchro summon with the monster you add back to hand. So theoretically, if you used an Ash Blossom to stop your opponent from using Fuelos on your turn, you could then add that Ash Blossom back to hand and have it live on their turn. So this is a lot better than I thought it was. What else can we make? We can go back into her, but that's probably not optimal. There is another 5. Okay, so there is another thing we can do. This is Killer Tune Red Seal. It's a Dark Fiend synchro effect. This specifically requires Killer Tune Rekko. Okay, so that could be part of that combo. Can only use the third effect of this card name once per turn. Gain certain attack for each tuner in the graveyards. The levels of your monsters your opponent controls with 1700 list attack are increased by 1. I like fucky level modulation, especially when it happens to your opponent. I don't think that's super relevant, but I still fucking love it. I love when cards do stuff like that. During your main phase quick effect, you banish 1 tuner from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects till the end of your turn. Okay, so far, the combo line I see. Summon Mix. Use Mix effect to add Rekko. Use Mix effect to synchro with Rekko in hand. Make Killer Tune Remix. Pop, pop. Opponent's turn, tribute this. Immediate synchro summon into this. Pop, pop. Then during the opponent's main phase, we can banish a tuner, which we now have 2 of them, to negate. So I'm already seeing that we have, just from one play, I am seeing a potential 3 interrupts. That's a pretty fine start, especially since there's other stuff you could weave this in with, probably. This is a 6, though. How are we making a 6? Hold up. I guess a 2 plus U? I don't know. Let's keep reading and see if I can figure out more of this. Killer Tune Loudness War. It's a light machine. Requires a tuner and +1 tuners. So this one doesn't specifically name a killer tune that they need, so that's decent. It's also a level 6 with 3000 defense. That's a big booty. You can only use second effect of this card name once per turn. Other tuners you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. Okay. I like that. I like a little blanket protection. That's nice. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can banish a killer tune monster from your graveyard. Apply its effect that activates if sent to the graveyard as synchro material. So this can also copy any of their effects and his effect, I guess. Its effect, I don't know. Is this a person? It's a machine. So I guess gender ambiguous. But hey, so we can copy any of these 4 effects from Grave if we have them there. which means we can also just copy the effect of bounce. That's nice. Okay. That's the monsters, though. Maybe a little sensitive to hand traps at the moment. I would need to test it, but like, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing so far. I'm liking this. We haven't even gotten to the spell traps. Okay. So this is Killer Tune Synchro. Interesting that it just has Synchro in its name. I wonder if there is weird things that can search it because of that or interact with it in some way. Only activate 2 cards with this card's name per turn. So you can use up to 2 of these? Or is there another card that shares a name with it? That would be weird. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn after this card resolves except tuners. So we're getting hard locked into only summoning other tuner synchros and tuners. Add a Killer Tune card from your deck to your hand, except Killer Tune. Then immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro Summon 1 tuner. Nice! Okay, this adds depth to this, actually. Because this is a quick play spell. You can do this on your opponent's turn. We can add this off of Maker. And we can use it to then quick synchro. But we don't have like a 1. So we couldn't like then use this to make either Remix or Red Seal. But we could use it to make Loudness War. And Loudness War's effect can copy his effect. And we could get a double compulse effect. Okay. There is so much this deck can do, it feels like, but it limits you to exactly tuners. And I feel like that's really its only problem. If this just made any synchros, this would be one of the most insane archetypes of all time already. Field spell. Oh god, I can already tell my speech impediment's gonna hate this one. This is Juke Joint Killer Tune. Okay. I had to really force that, but alright. I don't like that word. I don't like that phrase. That's bad for my mouth. Oh well. You can only use the first effect of this card name once per turn. So you can activate multiple copies of this so far. If the other effects are good, that's already a start. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 tuner in addition to your normal summon set. Good. Good. That does actually add a lot. That you'd have to hard open this though for certain lines to work. No. There are ways. Okay. I see. Killer Tune Loudness War. Exactly Loudness War, weirdly enough. You control gains 3,300 attack while your opponent has a tuner on their field or in their graveyard. So if they hand trap you and you make Loudness War, he's got 3,300 attack, so he doesn't just have to sit in defense mode. Okay, good. You can only gain this effect once per turn, by the way, so there is no point in playing a second copy of this, but you can tribute 1 tuner, add to your hand, or special summon 1 Killer Tune monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon for this turn except tuners. Okay, so this is tributing any tuner, but that's not really a big deal. Add to your hand or special summon from your deck. Okay, and then we can also get an additional normal summon. So if we were to like, just as an example, if we like summoned Mix, activate this, we can then tribute Mix to add Rekko, and then extra normal summon Rekko to go search like Clip, and you can do all that on that turn. Okay, this deck, there's a lot of moving parts. I feel like this could be a very toolboxy deck. I also feel like there may just be an optimal line I haven't figured out yet. I am trying so hard to understand this deck, honestly. 1 card left, it looks like. Killer Tune Playlist. Can only activate 2 cards with this card name to return, so you can use the trap twice. Interesting. Target 1 Killer Tune monster you control or in your graveyard. Apply these effects in sequence. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn after this card resolves except tuners. Apply its effect that activates if sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, and then return it to hand. So we've got 2 things that copy the effects of things that go to grave. So I'm already seeing something here where... No, this has to banish it though, so we don't get to keep it in grave, and this would return it to the hand. Okay, so there is some depth that is preventing us from... unless we manage to get 2 Maker in grave somehow. Otherwise, we would be able to triple compulse off of this, which is absurd, and I love it. Transitioning from these monsters feels a little janky at the moment, but I'm thinking there's probably a way if I really think about it. So we don't have a way outside of the synchro to get to the field spell if we don't open it. So that does complicate things quite a bit. And specifically, you cannot add a level 2. That's frustrating. My thought is it's just a way we could try to cycle Maker into grave so that we could use it with the trap or with this guy. That also would load the grave a little bit. Oh man, if we could use her. But I have to experiment with this deck. I feel like this must do something. Like, there is a lot of fireworks here, and what we really need is just a spark to make it go off. I think the best thing they could possibly do is reveal another level 3 that can either modulate its level or can add a spell trap. If we got that, this deck would be off to the races. I don't see a, like, easy way to make Loudness War. I just don't see it. Like, I guess the argument is you can use... No, you can't even use Recco to search a copy of yourself, so you couldn't even use the extra normal to make this thing. I don't see how we make you normally. Like, I don't see how a normal combo line results in this thing. And yet, he's the biggest name. He can copy the name of any of our tuners in Grave. And this specifically mentions him. So I feel like he's meant to be the payoff, but I just don't see how we get there. Oh, my brain is broken. Okay, I'm going to experiment this deck a lot because this feels a lot more big brain than Enneacraft. Not really. The extra deck potential of this is where shit gets interesting. Enneacraft, you don't have to worry about an extra deck, but the main, like, thought process for that one is mostly about cycling the right monsters into rotation. This... it has potential. I think whatever the last cards are, because 9 times out of 10 with these set build packs, they reveal like all but 1 or 2 cards up front and they save the last card. So I'm hoping that whatever the last card for this archetype is really ties it all together. And it just works, and then I'm happy. And then I can feel joy with this archetype. But as it is now, I just... it feels like we're so close, but so far, you know? Oh man, that's killer tune. I'm going to experiment this a lot. See, this is how you know that I like a deck, because I don't really like synchro decks very often. There are like, I can count on one hand the number of synchro decks I've ever actually enjoyed using. And the fact that even though this is one of those synchro decks, I just want to see it work so badly. I just want to make this work. Also, this, by the way, if we could get like a high res version of this, I'd probably make it a wallpaper. Okay, that's enough killer tune.